and Tori Roloff have never been ones to shy away from honesty, especially when it comes to family and the legacy of the Roloff farms. Their journey on TLC's Little People, Big World, LPBW, has often showcased the tension between them and Zach's father, Matt Roloff, particularly surrounding the fate of the beloved family farm. Now, in 2025, Zach and Tori are once again making headlines, not with dramatic confrontations, but with a clear, decisive message regarding Matt's controversial decision to retain control of the farm. For longtime fans, the story is familiar. Over the years, viewers have watched as Matt Roloff tried to navigate what many assumed would be a natural succession plan, passing down ownership, or at least part of Roloff Farms, to his children. However, things didn't go as many expected. Despite hopes that Zach, arguably the most involved of the Roloff kids, would take over the property, negotiations fell through, leading to strained relationships, disappointment, and ultimately, a major family shift. Now, years after the failed farm deal, Zach and Tori have chosen to speak out, not in explosive television moments, but in deliberate and powerful ways through their own platform. Whether it's through social media, interviews, or subtle commentary, their message is unmistakable. They've moved on, and they don't agree with how Matt handled the situation. Tori, known for her candid nature and thoughtful reflections, recently posted a heartfelt message on her Instagram account that had fans talking. Without directly naming Matt, she discussed the importance of choosing peace over property, a phrase many interpreted as a direct response to the farm fallout. Sometimes, Tori wrote, "Letting go of what you thought should be allows you to embrace what is, and that's often more beautiful than you expected." The caption was paired with a photo of their 3 children, Jackson, Layla, and Josiah, running through a lush field that was not Roloff Farms. Observers quickly noted that the setting looked completely different from the familiar Oregon property. It was their own backyard, on their own terms. For many fans, it was a subtle but firm message: the Roloffs aren't tied to the past anymore. Zach, while typically more reserved on social media, backed up the sentiment in a recent podcast appearance. He didn't dive into the details of the failed negotiation with his father, but he emphasized the importance of prioritizing family relationships over material things. At the end of the day, he said, land is land. But how you treat people, that lasts longer than any fence or building. This statement may seem neutral on the surface, but within the context of their family history, it carried real weight. Zach had once dreamed of raising his family on Roloff Farms, continuing the traditions he grew up with. But those dreams collided with the reality of business, contracts, and disagreements. While Matt defended his actions as business savvy and necessary for the long-term health of the property, Zach saw them differently, as a rejection not just of his proposal, but of the legacy he wanted to help carry on. The divide became a major turning point in the family dynamic. While Matt went on to propose and eventually marry Karen Chandler, and even converted part of the farm into a short-term rental, Zach and Tori packed up and moved out of state. Their relocation was as symbolic as it was practical. It allowed them to build a life beyond the expectations and disappointments tied to Roloff Farms. Since moving, Zach and Tori have made it clear they are thriving. Tori launched a successful online presence as a parenting influencer and photographer, while Zach continues to stay involved in youth soccer, mentoring kids, and building a strong community presence. They bought their own home, created their own routines, and raised their children with the kind of love and stability that many fans admire. Still, the shadow of the farm saga lingers. When Matt announced his decision to sell a portion of the land, after years of claiming it was for the kids, many fans saw it as the final blow to any hope of reconciliation. Some even criticized Matt for what they called hypocrisy, suggesting that he had used the farm as leverage or manipulation. In response to the controversy, Matt claimed he tried everything to make the farm transition work, but that the kids weren't on the same page. However, Zach's public comments hinted that the issue wasn't just about money, it was about respect, transparency, and feeling heard. Tori, never one to mince words, echoed this sentiment subtly during an Instagram Q&A. When asked if she ever missed being part of Roloff Farms, she responded, "I miss the idea of it more than the reality. Some things look better from far away." That kind of honesty resonated with fans who have followed their story from the beginning. More recently, the couple made another definitive move. They launched a new family vlog, documenting their life away from the farm, which has quickly become popular with their loyal audience. Their tone is upbeat, centered on family adventures, parenting realness, and a sense of peace that seems a far cry from the tension of earlier seasons on LPBW. While the vlog avoids direct commentary on Matt, it doesn't shy away from portraying a strong message. Zach and Tori are doing just fine without Roloff Farms. They've created their own version of legacy, one that doesn't depend on acreage or ownership, but rather on values and love. Their children are a huge part of that message. Jackson, their oldest, has especially grown up in the public eye, and Zach and Tori have taken care to ensure his childhood is grounded and full of joy. Whether it's backyard soccer matches, family camping trips, or simple school mornings, they show a slice of life that feels authentic and intentional. That intentionality is perhaps their strongest statement. In walking away from the farm, Zach and Tori aren't just reacting to Matt's decisions, they are actively choosing a different path. One that isn't dictated by what could have been, but by what they are building now. It's a narrative of quiet strength. While other family members have chosen to remain closer to Matt or the farm, Zach and Tori have carved out their own lane. There's no animosity in their message, but there's no ambiguity either. Their focus is forward, their priorities are clear. In many ways, they've given fans a new lens through which to view the farm saga. Rather than framing it as a tragedy or betrayal, they've reframed it as a redirection, an opportunity to redefine what success and family really mean. And for that, they've earned a great deal of respect. As for the future, it remains uncertain whether the rift between Zach and Matt will ever fully heal. Time may soften the edges, but for now, the divide remains. What's more certain is that Zach and Tori are committed to living on their own terms, far removed from the drama that once surrounded them. Tori Roloff, the beloved star of TLC's Little People, Big World, has once again opened her heart to fans in a deeply emotional message that resonated with many. In a rare and raw moment of honesty, Tori admitted to feeling exhausted, not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well. As a mother of three, a wife to Zach Roloff, and a public figure navigating the challenges of fame and family life, Tori's vulnerability struck a powerful chord with her community. Tori took to Instagram, the platform where she often shares her family's sweetest milestones and heartwarming photos, to deliver a very different kind of update. This time, there were no smiling selfies or candid snaps of her kids playing in the backyard. Instead, the post was simple and heartfelt, an acknowledgement of the weight she's been carrying behind the scenes. "I'm exhausted," she wrote plainly. "I've tried to stay strong, to keep smiling, to be the glue. But today, I just need to say it out loud. I'm tired." The post wasn't long, but it was full of emotion. Tori didn't dive into specifics, but the honesty in her tone said everything. It wasn't just about sleepless nights or busy mornings. It was about the deeper toll of constantly being on, as a mom, as a partner, and as a public personality. Tori Roloff has spent nearly a decade in the public eye, ever since she joined the Roloff family through her marriage to Zach. Over the years, fans have watched her journey through marriage, multiple pregnancies, motherhood, and family challenges, all with cameras rolling. While she's often praised for her grace, kindness, and patience, the pressures of constant visibility have clearly taken their toll. Being part of a reality television family has its perks, but it also comes with unique challenges. Every high is celebrated publicly, but every low is scrutinized. For Tori, this has meant navigating grief, parenting hurdles, and even public disagreements while millions watch and comment. Much of Tori's identity on the show, and on social media, centers around her role as a mother. Together with Zach, she is raising 3 children: Jackson, Layla, and Joza. The couple has been refreshingly honest about the joys and challenges of parenting, especially as they navigate raising children with dwarfism. Jackson and Layla, both diagnosed with achondroplasia like their father, require special attention and medical care. Tori has openly shared updates about Jackson's leg surgeries and Layla's developmental delays. Their youngest, Joja, is still a baby, and the early months of caring for an infant, combined with the needs of the older children, clearly haven't been easy. The emotional labor of parenting, especially when it involves additional medical or developmental needs, can be exhausting. Add to that the pressure of maintaining a strong public image, and it becomes clear why Tori felt compelled to open up. While Tori and Zach's marriage has largely been portrayed as loving and stable, they're not immune to the strain that everyday life brings. In the most recent seasons of Little People, Big World, viewers have caught glimpses of the stress between the couple, especially as they navigated tension with Zach's father, Matt Roloff, over the future of the family farm. The farm dispute caused a notable rift in the family and likely added pressure to Zach and Tori's already full plates. In moments of frustration, Tori has hinted at feeling caught in the middle of family dynamics and her desire to protect her own family's peace. As a wife, mother, and daughter-in-law, the expectations can be overwhelming. Tori's emotional post suggests that beneath the smiles and sweet family photos, there's a woman working tirelessly to keep everything together. What made Tori's message so powerful was its simplicity. She didn't elaborate. She didn't list the reasons why she felt exhausted. She didn't try to package her fatigue in a lesson or a motivational quote. She just said what so many mothers, wives, and women everywhere feel but are often afraid to admit: I'm tired. And in that vulnerability, Tori reminded everyone that it's okay to not have it all together. Her post was met with an outpouring of support from fans, friends, and fellow moms who related to her message. Comments flooded in thanking her for her honesty, encouraging her to rest, and applauding her strength. Many noted that it takes incredible courage to be honest about burnout, especially in a world that constantly demands perfection. Tori's post is a timely reminder of how damaging the pressure to do it all can be. In the age of Instagram perfect parenting, many women feel the need to appear happy, productive, and flawless at all times. But real life is messy. Kids throw tantrums, relationships get strained, sleep is lost, and emotions boil over. Even as she shares beautifully curated images of her family, Tori's admission reveals what happens when those picture-perfect moments come at the cost of personal wellness. Her words echo the voices of countless others who are overwhelmed but feel guilty for saying so. By speaking out, Tori is helping to normalize the conversation around mental and emotional exhaustion, especially for moms who are often expected to be the anchors in their families. Following her vulnerable post, fans began to speculate whether Tori might be considering a step back from the public eye. She and Zach have already distanced themselves somewhat from the show, with less screen time and fewer updates about their personal life than in earlier years. In a recent podcast interview, Tori hinted that she wasn't sure how much longer they'd continue to film for Little People, Big World. She emphasized the importance of protecting her children's privacy and focusing on her family's well-being. With this latest message, it seems that stepping back may be more necessary than ever. Many fans expressed support for such a move, saying they would miss seeing the Roloffs on screen, but understood the need for balance and self-care. One of the most beautiful outcomes of Tori's honesty is the community of support it has inspired. Over the years, she has become more than just a reality TV star. She's become a relatable voice for moms, an advocate for children with dwarfism, and a role model for authenticity. Through her platform, she has shared not just the highlights but also the challenges, candidly talking about postpartum recovery, anxiety, and parenting doubts. Her willingness to be real has built a loyal following that appreciates the messy moments just as much as the magical ones. And now, as she shares this moment of exhaustion, that same community is showing up for her in return. Whether or not Tori chooses to reduce her time in the spotlight, it's clear that her priorities lie with her family and her own mental health. This message, simple though it may have been, signals a deeper awareness of her limits and a refusal to keep pretending everything is fine when it's not. In a culture that often celebrates hustle and overachievement, Tori's honesty is a quiet rebellion. It's a reminder that rest is not weakness, that setting boundaries is not selfish, that saying "I'm exhausted" is not a failure, but a necessary act of self-care. Tori Roloff has always embraced her role as a reality TV star, mother, and wife, with both grace and authenticity. Best known for her appearances on TLC's Little People, Big World, Tori has spent years allowing the public a glimpse into her life, both the joyful moments and the more vulnerable ones. But recently, the beloved personality offered fans a rare and glamorous look into her world, far removed from the typical day-to-day parenting chaos and emotional family dynamics that often play out on screen. In a new video shared to social media, Tori Roloff stunned fans as she confidently rocked a chic black dress during what she described as a date night. The post, simple yet elegant, highlighted her fashion sense, her radiant energy, and a spark that continues to define her marriage to Zach Roloff, despite the many hurdles they faced together. For longtime fans of Little People, Big World, this glamorous side of Tori may not be as familiar. Viewers have seen her navigate motherhood to 3 young children, Jackson, Layla, and Josiah, with unflinching dedication and an honest voice that often touches on the emotional and physical exhaustion that parenting can bring. They've seen her advocate for her children, especially Jackson and Layla, who, like their father, have dwarfism. They've watched her deal with family tensions, particularly those surrounding the Roloff farm, and Zach's strained relationship with his father, Matt Roloff. But the Tori Roloff that emerged in this video, dressed to impress in a classic black ensemble, her makeup flawlessly applied, her hair styled in effortless waves, reminded everyone that she's more than just a mom, more than a reality TV figure. She is a woman who still prioritizes connection with her husband, a woman who feels good in her skin, and a woman who, despite the stress of daily life, hasn't lost her sense of self. Fans immediately responded with praise. Many commented on how radiant she looked, while others celebrated the couple's apparent ability to keep the romance alive despite the trials of parenting and public life. For many, it wasn't just about the dress or the makeup. It was about what Tori represented in that moment: balance, confidence, and love. The transformation wasn't just physical. The post seemed to signal a more internal shift, or perhaps a reminder, that Tori is entering a new phase of womanhood. One where self-care, romance, and personal growth coexist with motherhood and the demands of public scrutiny. The date night video was a small window into a couple reclaiming time for themselves, something so many parents, especially those with young children, struggle to find. Zach and Tori's relationship has long been under a microscope. From their wedding day aired on television to their efforts to carve out an independent life from the Roloff family legacy, their journey has been well documented. The ups and downs haven't been hidden, and that's exactly why moments like this resonate so deeply with their fans. The decision to step away from the family farm, a focal point of Little People, Big World, was not an easy one. Zach, once considered a likely heir to Roloff Farms, found himself at odds with his father, Matt, over the future of the property. Tensions escalated over price negotiations and perceived fairness, and ultimately, Zach and Tori made the choice to build their own life in a different direction. They moved to Battleground, Washington, distancing themselves both physically and emotionally from the family epicenter in Oregon. In the months and years that followed, the couple poured their energy into creating a warm and loving home for their children. Their Instagram pages reflect a life filled with crafts, baking, playtime, milestone moments, and the occasional raw confession. Tori has been especially open about the challenges of postpartum recovery, mental exhaustion, and the heavy responsibility of raising children with special needs. Her honesty has won her widespread admiration from mothers across the country. But behind all the diapers, doctor visits, and developmental milestones, there is still a marriage to tend to. And that's exactly what made this recent video so impactful. It wasn't just about the outfit, it was about the intention. So often, parenthood swallows romantic relationships whole. Between sleepless nights and busy schedules, it becomes far too easy for partners to forget the connection that brought them together in the first place. Tori and Zach, despite the cameras and the complications, seemed determined not to let that happen. Tori's caption, brief but telling, spoke volumes. Date night with my favorite person. No frills, no hashtags. Just a quiet celebration of love, carved out amid the chaos. As the video played, viewers could see that unmistakable twinkle in her eye. She looked happy, maybe even a little giddy. The kind of joy that can't be faked for social media. The kind of joy that comes from genuine affection and shared history. That's not to say their relationship is perfect, few are. But moments like these underscore the strength of their bond. Fashion-wise, the black dress was a brilliant choice. Timeless and universally flattering, the dress hugged her figure while offering a sense of understated elegance. Her accessories were minimal, a pair of subtle earrings, a clutch, and a pop of red lipstick that pulled the entire look together. It was a masterclass in dressing up without